The last truly unexplored frontier of our planet is that of the endless expanse hidden beneath the oceans of our world. Deep within the darkened waters there resides a number of strange and impossible to understand phenomena that have left many fearing the possibility of what may be lurking within the depths of our planet. So today we'll be covering a few of these mysterious underwater discoveries. The Lake Vostok creature. Antarctica is often referred to as the coldest place on the planet, which leads many to believe that it's nearly impossible for researchers anywhere to locate water of any kind, as they develop research bases and seismic reading activity all across the glacier surface. What's interesting is it appears the lack of fresh water might not be the case, as new research has located one of the largest lakes on Earth, and it's referred to as Lake Vostok. This giant lake rests underneath the glaciers of Antarctica. Back in 1967, a Russian scientist theorized there might be a large number of lakes underneath the ice sheets of Antarctica. They worked out the physics of the tremendous pressure being exerted by the thousands of meters of glacier ice pressing down against the lower portions of the ice sheets. As pressure increases, heat increases, leading to the melting of ice and forming deep pockets of freshwater lakes underneath the glacier ice sheets. Such theories would not be confirmed until 1970, when special British scientists used new airborne ice-penetrating radar surveys and detected strange anomalous movements underneath the ice that appeared to have been liquid water. Originally, the British believed the underground lakes were merely sporadic in their formation, making up more than 400 separate bodies of water. It was not until the research surfaced from the Russian science station known as Vostok that the discovery of the water underneath the glaciers actually formed a single massive lake that has come to be known as Lake Vostok. After running through a number of expected projections of water pressure and heat, many of the researchers had theorized the majority of life residing within the lake would most likely be microorganisms, and nothing nearly as complex as marine life of any kind. However, it appears there is a rather interesting theory surrounding this lake, and it comes from a supposed leaked document surrounding the first attempts made by Russian researchers back on the 5th of February in 2012. This was while drilling to the lake's surface. The report was titled Organism 46B, and detailed an increasingly bizarre story, in which Russian researchers claimed to have encountered a massive colossal squid. This creature resided in the lake and could release toxins into the water, could squeeze itself down into small sizes and take on weird shapes, changed its colour and could cause a mild form of hypnotism if a person stared at it for too long. The encounter with the organism 46B led to the reported deaths of several top-secret Russian researchers, and so many believe this is why the document could have been leaked, as a way of warning to other researchers in the area. Unfortunately, the entire story has been dismissed as a hoax, despite the colossal squid's abilities of changing colour and being able to squeeze into small places. Squids are some of the very few species in the world that can camouflage and change the pigments of their skin so rapidly that they can make a variety of colours able to hypnotise fish, as well as having a lack of bones that allow them to squeeze through a hole the size of £1. Today, people believe that organism 46B is a real creature, and that what the researchers encountered was some type of undiscovered new squid. Unidentified submerged objects. Many are well aware of the themes when reading over numerous UFO reports, and what they tend to mean when spotted. The term UFOs becomes synonymous with images of extraterrestrial life, despite the term having existed in aviation for many decades prior to the alien abduction phenomenon. Prior to its stigma with the extraterrestrial phenomenon, the term UFO, which stands for Unidentified Flying Object, was commonly used in the military to help them classify enemy planes. Though it might seem obvious in explanation, many still can't help to envision little green men when the term UFO is thrown around. UFO is not the only term that has grown in popularity within the extraterrestrial awareness community in recent years, as there appears to be another term that is slowly becoming far more popular, and shedding light on the technological capabilities of extraterrestrial life. Known as unidentified submerged objects, there have been a number of reports by fishermen and naval intelligence. They describe sightings of bright lights or quick-moving objects through the ocean that do not fit the design of anything terrestrial in nature. These USOs, as they have called, have also proven to look remarkably similar to UFO sightings and dish-shaped crafts. In fact, many sailors have claimed to have seen USOs rise out of the water and fly away as a massive bright light. This has led many to consider the very real possibility that UFO crafts also have the ability to serve as submerged crafts, leading many to believe that perhaps there are a number of underwater extraterrestrial research bases on our planet. Doggerland sunk in Europe. Referred to as the British Atlantis, archaeologists have begun uncovering an area of submerged land that is referred to as the Lost World of Doggerland, which is located off the coast of Europe. Roughly 12,000 years ago, the North Sea was at a depth much lower than it is today. It was due to this much lower depth that back in 10,000 BC, the location was used as a primitive civilization site for a collection of Stone Age people. Researchers have been aware of this site for quite a while now, with many having theorized decades in the past that since the site was flooded after the end of the Ice Age, roughly 7,500 years ago, it would have held a number of Stone Age ruins all throughout the area. Unfortunately, efforts to better understand this site weren't made until technology could catch up with the expedition. One technology finally caught up with researchers' expectations, and a startling discovery was soon made. Deep in the North Sea, the site of Doggerland was mapped in three-dimensional space using radar imaging, and helped to uncover massive underwater megalithic structures similar in design to Stonehenge, proving to be the first ever attempt at major reconstruction in a marine environment. The 3D imaging has helped to elevate the research in the area, and has been seen as a significant insight into the Mesolithic in northwest Europe. As research continues in the area, only more information will be revealed to archaeologists supporting possible theories of massive ancient civilizations, predating the world's oldest human civilizations. Whales singing deeper. Researchers working in marine biology have begun to see what can only be described as a mass whale evolution across the planet, and this seems to deny all expected research. Whales are a massive part of the ocean's ecosystem, surviving off of plankton and other microorganisms that make up their large body size. Not only this, but when these creatures pass away, they serve as a significant amount of food resources for smaller marine life, and these smaller creatures are able to thrive on this whale for the next few months. Because of their importance on the ocean's ecosystem, whales have been a closely studied marine animal to better understand the secrets surrounding their evolution, history and impact on the marine world. But for reasons not entirely certain, many researchers have begun to notice the average whale's song has begun to decrease in frequency. Due to their environment, whales have a naturally evolved form of communication that uses different frequencies to communicate underwater. This is the most efficient form of communication due to water slowing down or preventing other forms of communication altogether, with only certain frequencies able to carry over the water to nearby marine animals. It's this communication system that marine biologists have begun to notice the changes, with all of the whale species suddenly speaking at a much lower frequency. As published in the Journal of Acoustical Society of America, the peak frequency of Sri Lankan pygmy blue whale calls decreased from approximately 107 Hz to 100 Hz. To this date, this is the largest rate of decrease observed for any blue whale call. This new information has led to a few theories by researchers to explain the sudden frequency changes. Some have theorized the noises of large-scale boats has dramatically risen, forcing whales deeper into the oceans and requiring them to speak lower frequencies to be heard over the background noises. Other researchers believe this change could be mostly due in part to decreased whaling. As countries have stopped whaling practices, whales are much more able to live longer lives. These longer lives result in deeper vocal cords that help them to change the average depth of the whale frequencies. Regardless of what the cause may be, Researchers are unanimous in the changes and frequency showed evidence of a dramatic whale evolution that will definitely need to be researched more heavily. Better understanding its effects could help us to understand the whale population and what it could mean for their communication. So what do you think of these mysterious underwater discoveries that have been made over the past few decades? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.